You know, we've all looked at a box score, right? It's supposed to tell you who won and who lost. Pretty simple. But what if I told you that sometimes hidden inside those simple numbers is a story that's anything but? A story about how a single inch can separate an ordinary game from an absolute miracle. I mean, who doesn't love a miracle? But what happens when that miracle gets snatched away at the very last second? Today, we're gonna zero in on that one heart-stopping moment, the one that leaves you with that sinking feeling, just wondering, what if? All right, so let's set the scene. It's the ACC Tournament Quarterfinal. The stakes? Oh, they couldn't be higher. You win, you move on. You lose, your season is over. And on paper, well, this name looked like it was over before it even began. So in one corner, you've got the absolute titans of college basketball, #1 seed Duke with a staggering 30-2 record. And in the other, the scrappy underdogs, Florida State, who kind of had to claw their way to an 18-15 season. I mean, this isn't just a mismatch, folks. This is pure David versus Goliath stuff. But hey, we all know games aren't won on paper, right? And from the very first tip-off, Florida State sent a message, and it was loud and clear. They were not intimidated. This was going to be an all-out battle. And get this. I mean, just look at this halftime score. The unthinkable was actually happening. The underdog Seminoles, they were in the lead, 44-43. They weren't just hanging around. They were taking the fight straight to the best team in the conference. Okay, now this is where the story gets really interesting. Sure, Duke had the lead for, a bit more than half the game, but look at that big yellow slice. For over a third of the contest, Florida State was in the driver's seat. This was a total back-and-forth slugfest. No lead felt safe for a second. And you want to know why? It's right here. Florida State was just unconscious from the field. They were shooting a blistering 52%. That's a full 8 points higher than Duke. The Seminoles weren't just keeping it close, they were out shooting the Giants. So in a game this tight, you just know the stars are going to show up and show out. And boy, did they. This whole quarterfinal basically turned into this epic one-on-one duel between two players who decided, all right, team, get on my back, I got this. For Duke, it was all about Isaiah Evans. The freshman absolutely went nuclear. We're talking a career-high 32 points. He was just unstoppable, a total one-man wrecking crew, keeping the Blue Devils afloat. But for every single haymaker Evans threw, Florida State's Lajae had an answer. He dropped 28 of his own, basically matching Evans' shot for incredible shot and hitting these huge buckets right when his team needed him the most. And when you actually put their numbers side by side, you see two totally different ways to be great. Evans was the volume guy, right? He fired up 20 shots to get his 32. But Jones, man, he was a picture of efficiency. And that perfect 8 for 8 from the free throw line, come on, that is just pure, unadulterated clutch. So, after 40 minutes of this incredible back-and-forth war, it all comes down to this. The final, fateful seconds just ticking away. For Florida State, their whole season is just hanging by a single, solitary thread. And there it is, the final score. Duke 80, Florida State 79. Duke survives, they move on. And for Florida State, just absolute heartbreak. But what if I told you that final score is kind of a lie? What if the game wasn't really over until a split second after that clock hit all zeros? Because with the clock expiring, Florida State heaves up this final prayer. The ball is sailing through the air, the buzzer screams, it hits the rim, and bounces out. An inch. That's all it was. They were one single inch away from a miracle. And in that one single agonizing bounce of the ball, two completely different futures were written. For Duke, it's just this massive sigh of relief. They survived. And for Florida State, it's the crushing, unbearable weight of what if. And really, that's the whole story, isn't it? It all comes down to the number one. 1 point, one possession, and one cruel inch of iron that separated a legendary, all-time upset from just another forgotten box score. And it just makes you think, doesn't it? In sports, where is that line between total victory and complete heartbreak? It's so thin, you could miss it in the blink of an eye. A bounce of a ball, a lucky break, a single solitary inch. And maybe, just maybe, that's why we can never look away.